Welcome to the Fiscal Learning Center, users' one-stop learning experience for all things Fiscal training related. Here you will be able to access and track your progress of Fiscal's various training resources, such as job aids and web-based training, as well as registering for instructor-led training sessions. This is the welcome page users will see upon logging into the Fiscal Learning Center. Here at the top, users can quickly access the Learner homepage by clicking this link. The middle section of the welcome page includes various methods in which users can navigate to different areas of the Fiscal Learning Center. The first tile is to quickly access a user's transcript. The transcript will provide a history of the training users have either taken or currently have in progress. Users will be able to access and/or print a copy of their transcript at any time. The next tile is for browsing training content. This will allow users to browse training content by business process, security role, or keyword search. The third tile is for viewing the events calendar, and this will take users to the events calendar where they can have a month's calendar view of what instructor-led training sessions are available to register for. Lastly, there is the See What's New tile, which will allow users to see what content was recently updated or recently added to the Fiscal Learning Center. Next, we have the Get Help section. This section includes an area for the most frequently asked questions, and it highlights each of those questions here. Also in the Get Help section are different methods of contacting the Fiscal Learning Center if you encounter a problem, find content that needs updating, or have any suggestions on how we can improve the Fiscal Learning Center. The Learner homepage can be accessed from the Welcome page by clicking the Go to Learner Home button, or by going to the Learn menu and clicking on Learner Home. This is the Learner homepage. Learner Home serves as a learning hub which facilitates a seamless learning experience for users, allowing them to browse for and request relevant training and search and filter for specific training content. The Learner Home also includes several features which enable learners to easily select subjects of interest, discover training based on machine learning, and quickly access and request new training. There are a few different areas on the Learner homepage that I would like to highlight. The first of which is the user profile. The user profile section of the Learner homepage displays information about the user, including the number of training completion and training hours and subjects that they have expressed interest in. To add subjects of interest, users will click on the Add button, and they will be given the option to type in a specific subject that they would like to learn about, or click on the Browse tab to simply select subjects that they are interested in. After the user has selected subjects that they are interested in, they will then click on Save, and any of the subjects that they select will appear in their subjects here. The Learner Home will provide more training suggestions based on the subjects the user has expressed interest in. In other words, the Learner homepage will get to know the users and suggest training based on their interests. Below the search bar on the Learner homepage, there will be several different categorized carousels which will display training content that users can quickly access. The Continue Learning carousel will display training that is currently in progress for that user. They can simply click on any of the training content listed here and continue with the training. The next carousel will be inspired by your subjects. This carousel will recommend training content based on the subjects that the user had indicated interest in when selecting subjects in their user profile tile. Next, we have the most popular training carousel, which will display training that has been the most requested the most number of times amongst all users using the Fiscal Learning Center. An additional carousel that users will eventually see in the learner homepage will be the featured carousel. This carousel will display training content that was most recently updated or recently added to the FISCAL Learning Center. Users can browse through any of the carousels listed here and click on any of the training content to begin taking that training material. There are a few different ways to search for training content in the FISCAL Learning Center. The first method of searching for training content is via the learner homepage. At the top of the learner homepage is a search bar. To search, users can enter in a search term or phrase into the search box. Users have the flexibility to search for either specific job aid titles or job aid numbers, or perhaps just keywords related to a subject or process that they're interested in training on. As users begin to type into the search box, suggested training titles most relevant to that search term will begin to display. For example, if I wanted to learn about purchasing and I began typing in the word purchasing, suggested training titles will begin to appear. Users can select on any of these training titles to be taken quickly to that training content. If the training content they want to take is not listed here, all the user needs to do is click on Enter. After clicking on Enter, the user will be taken to the Learning Search page, which will display all results related to the search term. An additional method of searching is doing a blank search. So users can see all training content available within the FISCAL Learning Center. To do this, users will click within the search box, leave it blank, and then click Enter. And then all available training results for all content will be available to be accessed. Users can click on any of the training content listed here to quickly access that training content. Users can narrow their search results by using the filters here on the left side. They can filter by duration, by type, by modality, as well as by subject. And users also have the option to select multiple filters at once, so they can select whatever training they find the most useful for them, depending on how they want to receive that training. The second method of search results I would like to explain is the global search functionality. The global search bar is a search bar here at the very top right corner of the page. This search bar will be displayed throughout navigating the FISCAL Learning Center, so users may access this search bar at any time. Similar to the learner search, users will type in a search term or phrase in the global search box, and then suggested training titles will appear that users can select, or the user can press Enter on their keyboard to be navigated to the global search results page. For example, wanted to look up purchasing, I will then be given a couple different options, and I can select on any of those training content to be taken directly to that training content. Or I can click on Enter and be taken to the global search page. Users have the option of only filtering by training type at this point, and they can click on any of the icons to filter their search results. So the global search results page varies from the learning search page in a few different ways. The first difference is that the global search page will only allow users to filter by training type, whereas searching via the learner search page allowed for more filtering options. The second difference is that users are able to see descriptions and keywords when seeing the results within the global search page, whereas the learner search displays only tiles of that training content without this detailed information. However, both methods of searching will still navigate the user to that training content when it is clicked on. The Fiscal Learning Center will be users' one-stop learning experience for all Fiscal training content. The learning content within the Fiscal Learning Center will be labeled under new terms. To see the different types of training content, users can filter by type, and different training types will be listed here. Events are the equivalent to instructor-led trainings or ILTs that users would register for through the University of Fiscal. To view the sessions available for the events, users will click on the event's title. Materials are the equivalent to job aids that were found in ServiceNow. To access materials, users will click on the material and be navigated to a details page. On this details page, they will get a brief overview of what that job aid is for, and then have the option to launch. To open the job aid, they will click on the Launch button. And a pop-up window will appear with the job aid information, as well as the ability to open the attachment. After they have completed looking at the job aid, they can close the window and then mark that material as completed. After marking that material as completed, they will see that that training is now reflected as completed on their transcript, as well as on their learner homepage. Online classes are the equivalent to web-based training that users would normally find in the University of Fiscal. Previously, these web-based trainings were organized under larger courses. Here in the Fiscal Learning Center, these larger courses have been broken down into smaller, bite-sized topics. This will allow users to quickly pinpoint specific processes and take that online course, as opposed to going through a larger course beforehand to get to the information that they need. To access online classes, the user will just need to click on the online class, and they will be taken to the details page. In order to launch the online class, they simply need to click on Launch. And an additional pop-up window will appear that the user can navigate through in order to complete the online course. Once they have completed the online class, the training object will be marked as completed, and it will reflect as completed on their transcript. Videos of content related to Fiscal training were normally found on our YouTube channel. The videos have now been embedded within the Fiscal Learning Center, where users can watch the videos directly from the video page here. To view training videos within the Fiscal Learning Center, the user will select the video they're interested in and then be navigated to a details page. On this details page, they will click on Launch. And then they will be taken to the video page where they can directly watch the video from here. Once they've completed the video, they can then mark it as complete, and then the training object will be marked as complete on their transcript. The last type of training content we have within the Fiscal Learning Center is curricula. The curricula will contain various learning objects, such as materials or job aids, online courses, videos, etc., etc. And these learning objects will then be organized by business process. These curricula will bridge together the various training materials we have for a specific process and be organized in a way that will be helpful for the end users. Curricula are comprised of multiple learning objects that are part of one program. Curricula are being built for specific business processes across all modules. To access a curricula, users can filter by training type, curriculum, and then select on the curriculum that is most relevant to them and their business process that they would like to learn about. When opening up the curriculum, they will be taken to the details page, which will give them an overview of what the curriculum is for. In addition to the details, they will also be given a breakdown of the table of contents of what material is available within the curriculum. If they are interested in taking the curriculum, they will then click Open Curriculum. Upon opening up the curriculum, they will be given an overview of their progress of each of the sections within the curriculum. They will have a percentage of completion of progress of the overall curriculum, as well as within each section. To access each section, they can click between the sections here listed on the left side, and then they can launch and view all of the training content listed here. Users have the flexibility to move between sections before they completing the one listed before it. As in, I can move on to section 2 or 3 before completing section 1. And within each section, they can take the training content in any order they wish. This allows for greater flexibility so the users can pinpoint a specific topic that they need to learn about. In order to launch that topic, all they need to do is click on Launch. A favorite feature within the Fiscal Learning Center is the playlist functionality. Users can curate their own playlists of training content and organize the content in a way that is most useful for them. To access playlists, users can navigate to the Learner homepage and then go to the playlist section beneath their user profile. Any of the numbers listed here can be clicked on and the user will be navigated to their My Playlists page. Users can also quickly create a playlist from this section as well by simply clicking on the Create New Playlist. The second method to access playlists is through the Learn menu. They can go to Learn and then click on Playlists. Upon clicking on Playlist on their My Playlist page, they will be able to see all of the playlists that they have created, as well as any of the playlists that they are currently following. To create a new playlist, they can just click on Create New here. To continue editing or viewing a current playlist that they have, user can click on that playlist. And they can see all of the training content already within their playlist. To add additional content, they can add content from the catalog by searching here. When they see the content that they would like to add to their playlist, they will simply click on that item And they can also add a brief comment about what they learned from that content or information that they would like to keep note for themselves about this specific training content. To add that specific training content, they will then click on Add to Playlist, and they will see it listed here. They have the option to edit their playlist by removing content, by clicking the X to delete that training, as well as moving the order in which the training is listed within their playlist as well. To have a different view of their playlist, they can toggle between this timeline view here or this list view here. And again, the users have the option to move between training content by using these arrow buttons here. An additional method of adding training content to playlists is by adding them from the learner homepage or through the learner search. As they see these tiles of training content, they simply click on the Actions button, and then they can add a specific training material to an existing playlist or create a new playlist for that training content. They can also quickly navigate to the playlist page by clicking on Manage Playlists. A second popular feature is the Events Calendar. The Events Calendar will display training events that users can register for. These events are instructor-led trainings for specific business processes across various modules. To access Events Calendar, users can use the Events Calendar link on the Welcome page, or they can go to the Learn menu and click on Events Calendar. This will take users to the Events Calendar, where they can have a month's calendar view of what instructor-led trainings are available to register for. As they see training sessions that they're interested in, they simply need to click on that specific training section and then they can request the training. And they will be automatically registered for that session, assuming that there are enough seats available.